as you may know, we've been traveling full-time for almost 5 years.
Yep.
Which is crazy. Can you believe that we did that?
Yeah. We're crazy.
Yeah, I guess we are crazy. And if you did watch all the way to the end of our last video, first of all, high fives. I'll give you a cookie later. You may have noticed that we announced that we were going to be buying some property and creating a homestead, an off-grid homestead.
This has been a dream of Adelaide's since she was 9.
Yeah.
To have a small farm.
Yeah.
And I've kind of grown into that, and it's been a passion of mine too.
Yeah. So we've been talking about this and thinking about it for, I don't know, probably, like seriously, for probably about a year. We even made it a point to visit some new states this year, like Colorado, just to make sure that we weren't missing anything. When you see so many different places and you kind of fall in love with so many different areas and you start trying to think about, well, where am I going to put down roots? It's a little overwhelming, yeah. But we came back to Arizona. We've just fallen in love with the desert here and with the people and the climate. Yeah, so.
And the challenge.
The challenge.
I'm up for the challenge of creating a little oasis in the desert.
Yeah.
With starting from the ground up.
Yep.
There's nothing on this piece of land.
Right.
No
completely
well, no water.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Yeah.
So what we want to do is create a very small homestead to create sustainability for our family and the community around.
Right, and we want to build using non-traditional techniques. So
we're looking at earth bag houses or straw bale.
Yeah,
it's going to be completely different than what we're used to.
Yep, we're going to be doing completely off the grid solar, probably water catchment. It's going to be a whole thing. It's going to be crazy.
It's going to be expensive. We always think that if you move off grid, it's not going to be, you can live super cheap, but fencing, water catchment.
When you start from scratch, there is definitely some startup costs. But eventually the sustainability of the way you set it up should take over, and it should be a cheaper way to live.
Right.
A little ways down the road. So we're excited because this is a whole new challenge.
We don't know anything that we're doing.
Well, the one thing we do know is that we will be boondocking indefinitely while we build this property. Yeah. Which we know how to do. So at least we know that. Why Arizona specifically?
For the climate. Mostly.
Yeah, because Arizona is really awesome because you can be somewhere like Phoenix in the winter, and it's really pretty here this time of year. The temperature's really mild, but then if you want to have snow, you can drive up to Flagstaff just a few hours or jump over to Sedona. And the area that we're looking at specifically is around 5,000 feet elevation, so it's definitely not quite as hot in the summer, and you definitely do get some snow and like really cold temperatures in the winter. So it's a very moderate climate. Believe it or not. I know Arizona doesn't seem like that often, but it can be moderate if you're in the right spots.
We're in the high desert.
High desert, yeah. Also, Arizona has a ton of national parks and state parks and recreation areas and national monuments and just, in general, like public lands that are incredible. I mean, they're just amazing.
It's been at the top of our state list for a really long time.
Yeah, for a really long time, for sure. In Arizona, we've narrowed it down to a specific area, and that is Cochise County. And you want to explain a little bit more about that?
So Cochise County has some of the best regulations for off-grid builders.
Or lack of regulations.
Yeah, they're very relaxed about their laws.
Yep.
And more specifically, they have a zoning which is called RU4. And that will allow us to opt out. They have an opt-out program for RU4 properties, meaning that we can opt out of building inspections.
Right. We still have to submit a site plan.
We still have to build to code.
But we don't have to hire an architect. They don't come out and inspect all of our electrical and plumbing and it's like all that. Basically, they just make sure that you're far enough back from the road or far enough back from washes And
that you built what you said you were going to build.
And this gives us the freedom to build those more non-traditional structures like straw bale or earth bag or whatever. Cochise County is one of the few places you can do that, and also one of the few places that you can live in your RV on the property while you build the property. Most places won't let you park an RV, even if you own it on property that you own, which is crazy, but that's just welcome to America. So
we can actually live in our Airstream for 3 years while we build our home.
Correct, yeah. And so that was, I mean, there's hardly any places that you can actually do that in the country. And honestly, it sounds like that may even be going away soon in Cochise County. So we're hoping that we kind of get in under the deadline before it goes away. But yeah, there's a lot of people that are moving that area specifically for that. So we hope that they don't take it away, but it's all kind of up for debate right now.
And some of you are wondering where we are in the process.
Yeah, we went to the area. We looked at tons of properties. None of them were right in the right price range or in the right zone.
So we looked and looked and looked. Got really frustrated. And then last minute, at the end of the day, we was like, let's just try this. Drove to it, fell in love immediately.
Yep.
Gorgeous. And our realtor thought it was zoned RU4. We got really excited thinking it was zoned RU4.
We're like, let's put in an offer. And so during the offer process, she called us back and she's like, guys, we have a problem. It's actually not zoned RU4.
So I cried a lot.
It was a rough couple of days.
But then I got to researching and I was thinking, well, maybe we can just rezone it. There's like 2 people out in the area.
There's nobody around.
They're far away.
And there's also RU4 properties like all around it, so we still aren't sure why it isn't zoned this way. But anyway, so she did a bunch of research. She talked to the planning and zoning people in the area, and they said that you can actually rezone a property. So the first time
apply to rezone.
Well, apply to rezone it, yeah. So the first time that when we submitted our first offer, we were like to the seller, we were like, we want to offer this much and we need you to rezone it. And they were like, we're not rezoning it. And I'm like, okay, fair enough. So then we had to go through the whole process of seeing if there's a way that we could do the rezoning on their behalf before we bought it. And it turns out you can. You just need a notarized letter from the seller. So once we found that out, we counter-offered and we said, okay, we'll do the rezoning. And then it was just really a matter of us working the price out. And so now what we're trying to do is we're trying to get a notarized letter from the seller to make us the agents of the property so that we can go and rezone it, which is a whole process which we'll talk about in a later video. But that's where we're at right now. And we were doing all this over the holidays, and so all the back and forth was taking way longer than it should have, and we were like super stressed out. So we didn't know if they were going to accept or they were just going to bail on us. But it turns out we were able to send a few notes back and forth between our agents, and they're really cool. And they have like a long history here. So we're excited to be taking this land and doing something exciting with it. As you can imagine, big changes.
Huge changes.
Huge changes. So we know we have traditionally been a full-time traveling family.
We'll still adventure.
We'll still be adventuring. We'll still be boondocking on the property while we kind of do all this. But we hope that you'll still follow our story, and that if you haven't subscribed already, that you will. And we'll see you on the next video.